Americans kill terrorists, but Buhari regime appeases them. Fani Kaide. Politician Femi Fani Kaide has berated the Nigerian government's handling of terrorists. He spoke in the wake of the assassination of Al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri by American forces. In Nigeria, we do not kill terrorists. We beg them, pay them, appease them, reward them, bow before them, give them chieftaincy titles, and let them break into prison to free their brothers, Mr. Fani Kaide said in a tweet on Tuesday. The Americans killed Osama bin Laden, Abubakar al-Baghdadi, and now Ayman al-Zawahiri. Kudos. U.S. President Joe Biden announced on Monday the killing of Al-Qaeda kingpin, saying one more measure of closure would have been provided to families of the victims of the 9/11 attacks on the United States in 2001. In 2016, Buhari administration established the Operation Safe Corridor with the mandate to de-radicalize and rehabilitate repentant Boko Haram fighters in Nigeria. Though criticized for this idea, the Buhari regime has continued to rehabilitate Boko Haram terrorists who have killed about 350,000 people in the northeast since they took up their arms against the Nigerian state in 2009, according to the United Nations Development Programme report. Critics say the terrorists and bandits have been emboldened to fester in their criminal activities due to the government's reluctance to frontally engage them. And that has been the problem. I mean, listen, you can't compare America and Nigeria. I mean, yes, fundamentally, for the fact that Americans can literally say, we are going to attack back, it's a different thing, your reactions to this, because Fani Kaide is right. I mean, I was very much confused. I was like, wait, he's speaking against his boss, but then I remembered, he's actually switched. These will be jumping parties. But anyways, what he's saying is actually right, despite of whatever personal, the message is actually right. So we're just going to ignore the messenger. But the problem is, it's like, how do you assert power and you're begging and you're asking and you're paying and you're rehabilitating criminal terrorists back into your society? Operation Safe Corridor, I mean, I think there are just several things that it's so bad. Nigerians have been so used to the bare minimum that things just keep happening and getting worse. And sometimes because the sense of urgency that I believe should come with, certain issues that arise, and that sense of urgency is just not there. It's very scary. It is very, very scary, because I'm thinking, wait, is it just me? Like, shouldn't there be protests? I mean, we've seen what happened in the last protest, but I feel like Nigerians have just, in a way, not that it's intentional, but I think they've just been desensitized to certain things because we have no standard for our government. So when you're used to bad leadership, things of course will be shocking. It's not that they're corrupt, or it's not what Nigerians don't know. It's just the level of the intensity that would now make Nigerians react. But in the fundamental level, the fact is, the government rehabilitating Operation Safe Corridor is so bad. Like, this should spark a national outrage. I mean, I don't think Nigerians have got to that level yet where, as a whole, as a country, there's been national outrage. As an outrage that should scare, as in make the people in government literally defecate on themselves, for lack of a better word. I mean, that kind of outrage, that is what is needed, because that respect for the people really does need to come back. And for the respect where it's like, now, on the grounds of bare minimum, at least, not that it's justifiable, but with previous parties in administration, I mean, there was some level of secrecy to certain things happening, but Buhari's regime, just a different level of impunity. I mean, definition of impunity just puts Buhari's regime, it's literally that bad. And of course things do need to change, and at least we know that, okay, fine, putting those in government would listen to you is one thing, and very, very important, because we will keep having complaints a lot again and again and again. But yes, this terrorist situation, I mean, it's very bad. It's very bad. Imagine. So it's like even Nigerians abroad now. It takes me to this, with the Nigerian man, the Igbo man literally killed and attacked in Italy, and of course the Nigerian government, replied and said, they must be brought to book. Like, if a country can't even protect its own citizens, those that are outside the country, we're finished. Because, look at how, several Americans in Nigeria would have gotten lost, literally, in the north. We're talking lost in the thick forest and in the thick, locations where banditry, terrorism, that's their base, right? And they don't care. They would come, and American security, they would come with their helicopters, and they would save their citizens in Nigeria, in not even anywhere, in those places that Nigerian army itself is scared to reach. So really, Nigerians is more confident. At least just change the government that would properly invest, because security is becoming a big issue, and now we're having attacks in churches. Things will only get worse. And I think when we don't give the right reaction that shows we are not going to take this nonsense, all you really do is enable it, whether you intend to or not. So I think in so many ways, our silence on matters, to be honest, because really we can talk about how irresponsible the government has been. If anything, Nigerians have too much evidence against this APC regime to say that, you need to leave. The evidence is just too much at this point. It's too much. It's like proven beyond reasonable doubt. It's too much. So it's not necessarily talking about what the government is doing, but what we can do to change it. And that is where Nigerians take their power back. Because really and truly, talking about how incompetent your government is and how much in danger you are can have a negative effect on how you think. So if anything, we need to be thinking in ways that would allow for us to create a system of accountability where we can actually take measures. Because really, talking about this, really, it should be very scary. It's scary to live in Nigeria. So for the fact that, it's even very clear and obvious that we want to rehabilitate, it's a different thing that you're paying them. It's a different situation. But for the fact that you want to reintegrate them back into society, it means your government does not mean well for you, and you need to change them. You should be scared. You should be shaking. Very, very bad. But Nigerians are strong. We're going to get through it. Put what you think in the comment section below. And do not forget to like and subscribe.